Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep. You join us once more in the cartographer in the map editor where we are creating this rather large island. We have created a pier complete with rather large shipwreck made of several different parts. It is big. We've got this thing on the beach, this little housey thing. I might move it, I might do something with it. But it's there as a kind of a placeholder. We have this cave, which has a boat in it and trees on top. We also have this beach which is broken. We have these hills which we need to do something with, and last time we punched a hole straight through the center of our island. If you watch the Bob Ross livestream, you may be familiar with the hashtag ruined. Well, kind of, maybe not really. For you see, we got a lot of work to do decorating this. It basically creates a dynamic area on the interior of the island. There's a lot of land here, so at the end of it, around the opening to this delta, there will be fish and things, maybe even seaweed spawning under here. And further inland, you might still get little fishies, smaller fishies. And then here, as the tide comes in and out, there's going to be more and less water. It's not going to slow the player down, but it is going to create just this like interesting effect, an interesting little diversion. So what we're going to do is hit the train brush. We are going to hit raise. We're going to make sure we got the soft brush and the brush. You have to forgive me, I'm kind of getting over a cold. It's a bit of, well, it's been a bit of a problem. I had some days off work that they were like, oh, you've got to take some time off because you can't just work forever. And I'm like, ugh, all right, I'll do it. And then immediately get sick. I'm like, well, that's going to be the air conditioning then in the office, which is kind of ironic. So yeah, what we're going to do is raise this little island up a little bit and then probably punch it down on either side, so lower. Because I like the idea of having the little islandy bits. Let's make it a little bit deeper there as well. Yeah, it's better. It's better. It's not really going to slow the player down as they come through here. What it will do is promote things spawning in there, like little creatures and stuff. In fact, you know what? Let's have it punched in more towards this this cave entrance. Oh, it's almost as if you meant to do that. Huh. Strange that. Right. Smooth again. Size can be up. Smooth around there. The amount is down. The amount slider is inherited between all the brushes because it is. Is it a good thing? Don't know. Is it a bad thing? Don't know. No, it's kind of a bad thing. I'd like the amount slider unlinked from everything, so you can have it all the way up for the smoothing tool to get rid of all the jagged edges on everything, and all the way down for brushes and things. But maybe it's not something that the lads at Beam Team can actually control. So what we're doing is we're just refining this waterway, and we've got another little island to play with. So yeah, the water is there as kind of an interest, but these little islands with the trees, and we'll put trees around the outside as well, are going to create a canopy almost. So we're going to go back to objects. We're going to go to rocks. I'm going to throw some rocks down. We have to be a little bit careful because the more objects we put down, the more likely it is for the object in focus to snap to something else that we just don't want it to snap to. So what will happen after a while is there'll be so many objects in the island that either it's going to start affecting things like, that thing's too big, memory limits. And I'm not entirely sure what the memory limits are because there's no visual way of finding them when you're in the map editor. So you need to be a little bit careful about placing things like lots and lots of creatures. Lots of crabs, lots of snakes, lots of anything is going to affect performance. And it might not affect performance on your computer, but it certainly will affect someone's performance if they are using, say, a laptop or a TI-82 or a small sentient sandwich to run the game on. So yeah, just little considerations here and there. We're going to go back to terrain. We're going to go to raise and lower. We're going to hit raise, make sure the amount slider is tweaked all the way down. just check the size of the brush on an area that doesn't have water on it, because although you can't see it through the surface mesh, as it were. So we're going to change this down, and I'm going to go tappy tap 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 tap, clicking rather than holding it down, because I want a little bit of fine control. I want the sand to come up and meet these rocks, because it doesn't matter if it's not round where the rocks are, but it should be rounded where the rocks are not, because anywhere where the rocks are not, then the sand is prey to the motion of this sort of rivulet thing. It's also going to be open to the wind and the tide. So, yeah. Cool. That's kind of cool. Objects, trees, and we're obviously going to go with the ficus because... Well, the thing about the ficus tree is the old model was really nice, and I will keep saying that. That's the old model. Well, that's a picture of the old model. They replaced it with a stick. Sorry. The one that was a bunch of sticks, they've replaced with this bad boy. Boom. I'm going to put you in the ground and hope you don't snap to something else, which you're more than likely to do. It's kind of a 2D. Look, if you look at the tree on the side, it's very thin and kind of thin. If you look at it on the front or anywhere else, it's kind of... I don't know. I don't know why the ficus looks like it does. Okay, so at the moment we're fairly lucky because it's actually working quite well. There we go. That's what I want. Water. Well, water? No. Branches over the water. That's what I meant. Oh, no, it's just clipped to the rock. So, yeah, I saw that. Saw it. Saw that happening. Right, I think we could probably just leave it like that. This one we bulked up with another tree. So you can add more trees to the ficuses to make them a little bit more bulkier. Cool. We can also add a little bit of decoration, maybe? Oh, yeah, we got a bit of a problem. So the rock is selected. If we don't want to drag something out from the toolbox and accidentally rotate something or move it, click on terrain, click on objects, and then you unlink or take focus away from whatever you happen to be clicked to. That bad boy is the other big ficus. We can hold the red, move them down, press T. Okay. Now, is that too much? I think it might be too much. Alright, let's get rid of them. Goodbye. 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 Right, good. The baby ficus. I think these ones can be chopped down, which is the downside. Some of these trees can be chopped down, some can't. If you're sort of putting things in for decoration which are critical, make sure it's something that can't be chopped down. If you don't care, then whatever. If you're anything like me, I won't go around my home island deforesting it, because there's literally no point. You make the island ugly in its absence of greenery, because the stuff doesn't grow back in game. So it's not like, oh, you can plant a tree. Can't do that. The other farming plots, but God Lord, not really a fan of them. Gonna be honest. I know that in experimental they are talking about having things like ficus, being able to farm ficus, and I'm like, not interested. It's still a bad update. The water update is still a bad update. So yeah, I'm not sure about that. Not sure about it. So what we're doing is we're just throwing another rock in, just to add credence to the idea that this island is kind of meant to be there. There's enough rocks and stuff to actually support the fact that the sand is all the way up. I guess the roots of the trees will also hold things there. We can also go to trees. Interesting, it says trees. Interesting. How to eat your words. Interestingly, it does say trees rather than plants. Just a little thing in the toolbox. It's like, oh, does it? It does say that. So ground plants cannot be destroyed at the moment. So if you just add a few, not only does it add some interest, but it also, and I will move that so it's not obviously clipped into the ground. There we go. There we are. Or interesting. Or clipped into another plant. Okay. Easy, easy. Oh, okay, actually maybe this side. Easier. Yep, it's not obvious. It's not obvious. Right, fine. So we've got some greenery going on. We've got a little islandy thing going on. We've got some rocks in there. Brilliant. So we have these two central islands in our waterway. Certain things like this plant turning into a stick, if it goes far enough back, it goes back. So there's one level of detail, one LED setting or whatever, where this palm tree loses its top. You're going to be aware of that. It won't affect it in-game. A lot of this stuff won't be affected in-game. Right, so we have this. Funnily, it looks like the waves or the pattern of the mesh is going to be traveling in that direction along the little river. Kind of makes the water look like it's flowing out to sea. I totally meant that to happen. Absolutely. I'll take it. I mean, okay. This looks a bit weird here. This bit here, this little inland pool, looks a bit strange. It's like, what? What's going on here? I know, right? It's not brilliant. There's something missing. It's like, why is this here? What stops it from, you know? Oh, I got it. I got it. Shoreline Rock 1. This is a bit of a risk. Because if we let go of this, we might not be able to get this selected again, because it's a bit of a pain in the butt to select it. What I want to do is rotate it around. Oh, see, you literally can't select it once it's been placed. We're selecting everything else except this. You can't drag and select either. It's now part of the world. I don't know where. Oh, the central point is. Okay. That wasn't it. That was something on the opposite side of the island. That too is something on the opposite side of the island. This is, I think you just have to break it up by grid? Nope. Okay. It's literally what it is. Okay, fine. Yeah, so if you've got stuff on the other side of the island and you start clicking furiously, you're going to have that selected. Fortunately, this is about where I wanted it. Unfortunately, yeah. So it's called Shoreline Rock 1, and if you drag it in and you haven't saved and it's not in the right position, well, bum, because you're going to have a fun time trying to get it selected ever again. I honestly don't know where the central point of this thing is. Nope, don't know. Right, so we're going to be doing some big rock stuff anyway. So I'm going to throw you under there. Yeah, I mean, this might be too high, to be honest. Might be too high. Well, we just have to live with it. We have to live with it because we can't get rid of it. Wow. Well, I'm not going to say there aren't bugs in the map editor because there are a lot of bugs in the map editor. Yeah, just an awful lot. You just have to work out terrain objects. Work out what they are and then try not to have them affect you too much. So what we're doing is creating a sort of plausible spring, but it's going to be too small for the player to get in there. We are going to go to terrain. We're going to go to raise and lower. In fact, no, we're not. We're going to go to set height. We're going to read from here. We're going to use this brush. We're going to go over here. We're going to make it slightly smaller. Oh yeah. And then what we're going to do is going to push this in here. Everything the light touches. It's not going to matter too much. What we're going to do is push it back, push it back, push it back. Push it back, push it back, push it back, push it back, push it back. Good. So we've got this kind of curious stream thing going on. In fact, I'm going to read height from here. That's better. It's deeper, if you will. That means, because there's no source, there's no like source for this river, I want it to be deeper. I want it to be this blue. We're using the hard edge brush because what I don't want is the it to pull too much of the mountain down or anything. So we're going to pull that out, and we're using the height brush because we can actually set it to a height, and it doesn't matter if the amount slider is all the way up or all the way down. It will it will just end at whatever value we've actually set it to, so we're not at risk of annihilating huge swaths or swathes of our island. I know I'm just kind of putting in like a sort of tearing up the bottom of this pond thing, but at the source is where these rocks are, and then it can get shallower in this direction. Good. Right, and what I'm looking for is just the colour of the water. See? So what we're going to do is smooth height. We're going to go back to the soft brush. We're going to change that up, and then we're just going to go and just pass all the way back, and it's going to get rid of most of that. Cool. So if we go poof underwater, we go select the objects selection. It's all broken up, but it's not obviously it's not as bad as it could be. So it's not full of triangles. We are trying to be fine, trying to create fine detail in a map editor that really doesn't want you to be creating fine detail. It's not designed for that. We're going to change that down again, and then we're just going to punch through there. The amount slider is inherited, so that's up a little too much. To be honest, I think we could leave this slightly deeper, and it is not going to matter too much. Right, and maybe just punch this out a little bit and have it fairly rough from there. I don't think that's going to matter too much. Okay, because I'm looking for the colour of the water. Now we're going to need to dress the back of this, because anyone coming here might be going bloop, 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 bloop. You can't go in there because there's nothing in there to really do. So it's just a case of grabbing the green bit. As soon as we let go, it might snap to something else. Alright. I think it's green facing us. It is, yeah. Blue. So we're just putting rocks in. Just to hide the fact that the back wall is just dirt. And I think if I clone that, I can just throw that there. Do a little rotate. And just make sure that any grass texture is kind of hidden. Because there's just all we can do. Rotate you out a bit at the top. There we go. So I look in there now. We've got rock. We've got a little gap at the top, but in all honesty, it just kind of looks like the water might be pouring out of the bottom of the mountain. Again, we're going to have to do something about it, but it's starting to look a little bit more like a little bit more like a little rivulet. So we are going to hit terrain and objects, because we do not need everything still selected. We need to throw a few more rocks down because we just have a big pile of rocks, and that is not good. So what we can do is just press T, drop it into the ground a little bit, and then same over here, something like this. Little rotate, little T, little R. Good. So it doesn't look like boom, there's a bunch of rocks. It's like, oh, actually, let me throw some small rocks around it. Smart 3, you'll do. It's your time to shine. We can also rotate and press T and drop you into the ground a little bit. There you go. Cool. So we've done that. We will need to dress this whole area. People will want to walk up onto the top of that because that's what people do, I can get up this way fairly easily. Yeah, I think that's possibly a thing that can be done. So go back to trees. We're obviously going to go to ficus. We're going to be using a lot of ficus. I'm not even going to apologize because it is the only tree with branches that can be positioned so they come out over something. Kind of a lack of variety in the foliage, I think. So we're going to have to find ficus, which is under F for ficus, that one there. And then we're going to have to be very careful about how we do this. Oh, this doesn't even like snapping onto that. Wow. Hey. So it's going to snap from the toolbox. It's going to snap onto other objects, but it doesn't like snapping onto this into the shoreline rock. It's a curious thing. It's definitely a curious thing. So I'm looking at the top. What I want it to do is bring that down as much as we can, so that just grazes the side of the mountain, but also yeah, okay. Also there are branches that come out over this rock. We can press R to rotate. It's gone and snapped onto something else. Ooh, hey. Hello, what are you snapped onto? That's the tree. Okay, cool. So we're just looking at all this stuff at the back. I think if I grab that. Okay, cool. That seems like it works. Yep, I like it. I like it. Cool. So if we just go up and back away from it, what we can do is we can throw something else in. Because we'll have to use a lot of the pines. But the trouble is the pine trees are limited in the number of trees that we can actually use. 6 a piece, I believe. What we can do is drop this bad boy in. Boom, drop me down. Press R to rotate. Not that way. Grab the blue. I like putting it down so that one of the split branches is literally just coming out of the ground. And then, boom. So we've got some more green foliage. Of course, there'll be grass and like scrubby matter around. So that's kind of cool. So we've got that. And we can always come back and refine it later, which is probably what we're going to have to do. Definitely. But we work on a bit, we leave it, we go away, we come back. That is our mantra. There's a mantra. So we've joined this up. Now this is a little less just like a blob, because it was kind of a bit blobby before, and now it's more like its own little island with the sand and the water, and the sort of water even reaching partway into the cave entrance. So it's yeah, I like that. It now has a purpose. It now has a reason to be, which is as much as anyone can ask for. Cool. We are going to need to add more trees though, because I'm using Q and E, and what I want is W to move forward. Right. Okay. So obviously we're going to use the rocks. We keep using rocks in ways that are probably not really intended to be used. In that we put one down, we have to rotate, press T, bring it back, and then what we can do is just have this literally just poking out of the ground. There we go. Maybe question mark. It's better. Good. Better. Brilliant. Right, so I'm going to hit terrain and objects because I don't want that to move anymore. Then we can use trees. We can go to ficus. Same ficus. It's going to be a lot of the same ficus. The trick is to have it positioned in such a way that it doesn't look like you've used the same tree 50 freaking times. But you have. Because that's what you have. Actually, I like that. The way it is. I mean, from this point of view, that looks really good. From this point of view, it doesn't look that good at all. If I throw another one here, we can have branches coming out across. So, yeah, you can start to see that it's creating a forest but instead of having lots and lots of trees all stuck together, we've got these little islands of trees, little rocks. And I might just go very simple with this one. So if we throw in a nana plant? Question mark? Do that? Yeah, we can. The nana plant is a very interesting plant within the game itself because it doesn't like you jumping on it. It's got a weird hitbox. So what we'll do is put him there. It's actually quite a good plant if you're using if you want it to be you got a bit of ground cover you need to use up, or just kind of have something there. It does make for good ground cover. Excellent. Right, that is fairly simple. We have a medical plant under that ficus. We have nothing under this ficus. We have nothing under this ficus. I think there might be too many ficuses to throw stuff under every single one. I don't think it's going to be... I don't think we're going to be able to stick to our rule of put something interesting under every ficus. But we should try. We should try. So, lava doesn't do anything at the moment. PP? I suppose PP. Oh, we got one PP. You need two PP for anti-poison, anti-poisonicide, anti-venom, anti-venom. We got there eventually. Bush. Oh yeah, them's big bushes. Aloe vera. I already got one of those. What was I thinking of? It's a tree. Kwawa okura. Kwawa. Yeah, I want to say the kwawa. There you go. Just a little rando shrubby boy. Because he will add a little bit of interest at the same time as some fruit that you can harvest, either eat or if you're just visiting the island, you can just have a little snack, or you can just leave it. And once the fruit's gone, it doesn't look too out of place sat next to the ficus. So good. Excellent. I think we're making a lot of progress. There's a couple of things I do want to do now. I think a rock here and another tree, just because rock then tree is a good way to go. I mean, it's a good way. I like it. It gives a little bit more detail on the ground, and I like ground detail. Not just having. It's like rock tree, cool. Not just here's a bit of sand and here's a tree sticking out of it. Oh, right, okay. Well, but I mean, it works. You will have to do it at some point. All the palm trees are all kind of sticking out of the ground. Some of the ones we put in will be next to rocks, but when we do a final pass, foliage pass, we're going to be doing a lot of just slamming trees in everywhere. But there'll be enough with these little vignettes of their own to kind of disguise the fact that some of them are just rando placements. Cool. I'm looking for the very specific, very special ficus. Hello. How are you? And his placement is going to be down in the ground. Then it's going to be rotated, because they all are rotated. There we go. Whoa. To create a tree arch. Nice. That's exactly what I wanted to do. I just like that sort of these branches that come out. They are perfect. Absolutely perfect for all your branchy needs. I want bush. No, I don't want bush. I want banana. Gonna hit terrain and then objects because I got something selected and I don't want it to spin around accidentally. I think it's actually a Windows thing. When you sometimes drag something from the actually I don't like that. So you drag something from the toolbox and something is already selected and it spins around. It's because it's I've actually seen that in Windows. You drag something and then something else drags as well. So I'm not sure if it's actually to do with Unity or whether it's actually to do with potato plant. Ooh. Or whether it's actually to do with Windows. Good. Actually, we haven't put any yuccas in recently. Make Could start to put some of these bad boys in. Okay. A little yucky boy. We can actually rotate, yeah, we can rotate these as well, so it's not quite all clipped into the tree, so let's have a look. Yeah, that works. I like it. Trees. Is that my imagination, or there's stuff in the distance a little bit more, that the colour is a little bit more faded, as if it were actually in the distance and you're looking at it through a lot more atmosphere. I think it actually is in the game. Yeah, okay. Cool, let's have a look at it from the other side. Let's hit terrain and then objects. Yeah. Hello, tree. Yeah, I think this is beginning to work. It takes a lot of work to do stuff like this, but I think once it's done, and it's done properly, it really starts to work. Now we have this kind of big open beach. We have this kind of big empty area here. We have stuff over here. We have stuff over here. We have something here that's kind of like... there's not a lot going on. Not a lot going on. So what we can do is throw in something... Maybe a rowboat? I kind of like the idea of the sea forts. Ooh. The trouble is you don't know if the sea fort is actually going to spawn, because there's always been problems with the sea forts themselves spawning. I like the idea of using just the top of it. There is a problem with this, of course. Once you're on it, or on this in this area, it will make a creaking noise. So that's a bit of an issue. Okay, I have an idea. What we need to do is we need to put it in as if it's gonna spawn, but then also take into account the fact that it might not spawn. It's kind of the whole InGen Jurassic Park, everything's been left behind vibe. So we've got that. We've got this over here with the broken ship. We'll do something with this. We'll have to do something with that. And then we can do stuff with this. So this beach, if we go and bring the camera down, it's actually fairly flat. Very flat and uninteresting. If this doesn't spawn for somebody, if they're running along and it hasn't spawned, it should be fixed by now. Sea fort's not spawning. But if it doesn't spawn, we have to do something about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a... we're going to grab that rowboat. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Right. Hold your pants, because it's going to get a little bit complicated. Right, so what we're going to do is go terrain and objects. We're going to take the rowboat. And then we're going to rotate the rowboat. The rowboat's actually freaking massive. Alright. Do I want it there? Or do I want it further back here, maybe? There's some questions. So, a lot of what you're doing when you're making an island is thinking on the fly. So it's like, I want this, but then, you know, how the river itself is put together is kind of done on the fly. So the big bits are done as you think about them in the back of your mind, and then the small bits are all done on the fly, like the rowboat. So what we're going to do is we're going to canter you over a lot. I'm going to press T, we're going to grab the green toggle, we're going to grab the blue toggle. We are going to bring you up. Then what we're going to do is hit the train. We're going to hit the raise and lower. We're going to make sure the amount slider is where we want it, because otherwise it would be tragic. We're going to check the size. The size is too small. We're going to raise that up. And what we're going to do is raise up the sand here. Look at that. Raise it up, raise it up, raise it up. Then we're going to lower. Lower. Okay, cool. Then we're going to lower it all the way back through the boat itself. Okay. Then we're going to hit smooth height. Make it slightly bigger. make the amount slightly higher, and then we're going to smooth that back so that texture just starts to show on top of the sand, but the boat still has water in it. I'm going to have to lower that down a little bit more. So raise and lower, slightly lower, make sure the mount's down, size down, click, 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 click. There we go. It's kind of important the water actually meets the wood. Well, it's important to me, because, you know, smoothing, crank it up a little bit. Just a little bit. So we've got, what we've got is the boat next to the rock. It's had an effect on its environment, because the sand is up on one side and down on the other side. See? Just rip that up. Cool. Smooth this back along here as well, because it's a little bit too lumpy. In fact, all the way. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. And then what we can do is, again, because we don't know if this is going to spawn. That's all. Oh, set objects. Click that. Put a little bit further down into the ground. And pull you further over. There we go. That's better. So that's there. If this doesn't spawn, then that will still be there as a point of interest, and that sand bar will still be there. Cool. What we can now do is also put something here, maybe maybe another tree with some rocks and various bits and pieces. Raise this up a little bit. I think we should really raise this ground up. So I'm going to hit terrain. I'm going to hit set height. I'm going to hit read from there. A mount slider was inherited, and that would have been, well, it wouldn't have been tragic, but it would have been great for us. So we're just going to brush over here, raise it up a little bit, and so it's a little bit more sand duney. Good. Excellent, 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 excellent. And also, if you didn't get that, it's kind of excellent. Brilliant. Yeah, that's better. So it's a bit more, it's just a bit more. Cool. So we go to objects, and we're going to go to rocks. Hello. We're going to grab another rock. Hello. And we're going to put you in the ground. And what we're going to do is put you over real close to this. Real close. How close? Real close. And then I think if we then go to trees and get another ficus. So if we throw a couple of ficuses in here, would just a regular one work? Might actually work quite well, you know. Yeah, it might actually work quite well, just on its own, doing its thing. Fine. And what I will do then is hit terrain and objects. Just, in fact, just go back to terrain. Raise and lower, raise, mount, check, visual check, because you can't. Let's change the size down a little bit. So just want to click here. Just want to get this up, raised up a little bit. Okay, cool. Cool, 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 cool. And then smooth. That's the size. That's the amount. Smooth. Oh no, it's all disappeared. Yeah, well, we're going to have to raise up again. Make sure the amount's down. Clickety clicks. Clickety click, clickety clicks. There we go. There we go. I just wanted that up a little bit. And then smooth, but... Oh. Oh yeah, the amount needs to come up a bit. There we go. So we've sort of brought it up a little bit more on one side than the other. We're smoothing to get rid of any jagged edges in the terrain. And then what we're going to do is go here. And we are going to throw in... We could throw an aloe vera down. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere and a bit too obvious, I think. We got some ficuses, we got some kuras. What else do we have? I know one of these shrubby boys is going to be changed. Can't remember which one. I should actually go and look and see which one it is and how badly it's going to affect the old game. But you know what? I never do. So, you know, it'll either be a wonderful surprise or it'll be a terrible tragedy when the update comes out and the map's completely freaking broken. Well, yeah, I guess that's a metaphor for life. What's a metaphor? Well, it's measuring things. So we've created a rock. We've put some plants next to it, and it's got a tree. Cool. And then we'll do something similar around here. So we'll get another rock. I'll throw you down. I think is the big rock going to be okay here? Yeah, I think so. If we rotate it, press T, bring it back a little bit, and then raise it up. So these metal pieces just sort of poke through a little bit. Then what we can do is throw in another tree. This time it will be a ficus. Ficus 2. There we go. Then we'll drop that down. And we'll move that slightly. So that branch. Is that the long branch? Yeah. So even if there's nothing there, even if this doesn't spawn, I want this to be fairly detailed. So I think at this point we could probably throw in what do we have? Kawawa? Was that the last tree that we put in? Yeah. Well, let's put in a Kura. K-L-M-N-K. Kura. There you are. The Legend of Kura. Good. We'll bring that back a little bit. Just angle it over. So it's kind of facing away from the ficus. Good. So we go train objects. So it can get itself locked in. Brilliant. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. I like this. I like this little hexagonal ruin. Of course, if you go... just hit train objects, I'm not selecting it. If you go underground... that's terrifying. What's more terrifying is that those legs are really long. Probably all the way to the bottom of the map. I don't know. But good heavens. So yeah, just enjoy being on top. Being on the top of the mesh. Yeah, cool. We could throw like another little rock or something down in there, or we could throw something in there. Or we could just leave it open. If nothing spawns, then it's just a big sandy area. It's probably not a bad thing to have just open areas. I mean, if someone's coming along and like, oh, well, you know, there's a big area here, I'll put a house there. Oh, alright, good. Good. Good, good, good. So if we go to the top of the mountain now, which is... boop, yeah. And we look down at this area. Yeah. So what I want is the inability to look from one side of the island to the other unobstructed. What that means is you shouldn't be able just to sit, just be walking around the island and be able to go, oh, I can see the thing over there and the thing over there and there's a thing over there and okay, I can see everything. I don't want that. What I want is for people to actually be going, I wonder what's over there. I can't see what's over there. This is interesting. I like this area. So, yeah. So we're creating a forest without adding too many trees, but still lots and lots of objects. I don't think speed tree is part of... Is speed tree part of... Ooh, I don't know. Part of Unity. It's a way of rendering forests very, very quickly. Not entirely sure. Not entirely sure. So, okay, we've done quite a lot to the inland area. There is something else we could probably do. Probably. And that is make a little pathway. Where do I want to do that? I don't quite know what I want to do with this headland. I kind of got an idea in my mind. And we match the other part of the headland. So we're not going to be doing much over here for the time being. One of the things we can do with our attitude is... okay, let's do it here. So we go to, oh, we're already in objects. We go to terrain and objects, so we don't have anything selected. We go to structures, and then we go to Seafort Bridge. We drag it in. Oh yeah, we're going to drag it in onto a rock or something, because otherwise it disappears under the terrain. It's not impossible to get back, but pain in the butt. Say pain in the butt. We're going to hit R to rotate. We're going to press T to bring it back, and then drop it down. And then... this is huge. It is a huge piece of metal. What we can do is rotate it in such a way that it... There we go. And now it's obviously snapped onto something else, so we have to find the bridge again. Is that the bridge? Yeah, okay. So we can do this. Oh no, you've disappeared everything. Yep, everything has now been disappeared. We're going to raise and lower. We're going to hit lower. I'm going to take the mount slider and change it all the way down, because every time. And then we're just going to brush back. Oh look, there's a bit of bridge showing there. That's amazing. It is, isn't it? Yeah. Just going to brush this kind of very steep edge back. Put trees and stuff there eventually. Cool. So we're just going to brush that back a little bit more there, a little bit more there. Just so it's kind of poking through. And then we're going to raise, boop, boop, that there. Whoa, look at that. Huh, see? I might even lower it a little bit more. There, so we've got, you can just tell there's a little bit of moisture coming through underneath. Yep, yes there is. Right, cool. We obviously hit smooth. The amount should be a little bit more than nothing. We got rid of the moisture. Is that going to be a problem? No, because we can lower it again. Make sure the amount's down. Okay. So it's just kind of moist underneath there. You have a little bit of maybe water showing, I think. Is it going to start showing the mesh? Yeah, it is. So at certain times you might see a little bit of glint off of the sunlight. That's essentially what that is. But otherwise, it's just a path. It's a path along the sand. LOD kicking in. Just going to see the ends of it. So what we do is drop that down. Hit raise. And just do a little clicky clicks around here. Just get rid of some more of that. Good. Probably want to raise this up here as well. Let's bring that back. Cool. So creating little paths along the beaches. Lower that. And then smooth. Yeah. A little bit more smoothing action needs to take place there. Good. Good. And then we could probably just put something here and then just have a little dress objects. I'm clicking on all the things. So something here would be really quite warranted. Trees. Ficus 3, Ficus tree, Ficus tree 2. There you go. Just check, make sure. Well, which way? Which way do you want to go? Up or down? She chose down. Oops, we're under the ground. Camera speed is very tricksy to control. So we've got another tree bridge there. It's kind of cool. It's very cool. Yeah, okay, right. Well, what we're going to need to do is grab an object. In which case, this is going to be not rocks. It's going to be from structures, and it's going to be a door. Because I want to know how high I want to be. Very close to the top of a player's head through there. But it's not going to impede or obstruct them. So I think... Ooh, is it the door selected? Soon find out. Yep. And then we'll delete it. If you don't know, give it a little rotate. So there we are. We've created a path in the sand on the beach. We've got a little tree arch going on. I'll tell you what, just because I'm feeling generous. Throw in a little yucca as well. Cool. So we've done an awful lot of work, where before we did a lot less work. So we have our path on the beach. We have a mysterious hexagonal ruin. We've got the got this, I think. Which way is this? Red brings it back a little bit. I think we could probably bring it back a little bit more into the water. That'll just give everything a little bit more space to breathe. Good. So yeah, we have a little boat. So if nothing spawns here, it'll just end up sandy. That's not a problem. We've got another little island with a tree. We have another little tree here, and a sort of a tree bridge, tree arch. So we got a couple of tree arches. Oh, look at that! And another tree arch over here, which kind of, yeah, it's looking. Whoops. Well, except for the camera velocity is just not ever going to be something you can lock down. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I like this. I like this a lot. So this is, yeah, this is beginning to work. Do work is work. Excellent. You know what? I think we've done enough for today. It's time to go away and time to think about what we've done and how we can improve on it. If you're watching this, definitely leave a little like, leave a subscribe, and if you do subscribe, click the little bell, because YouTube is useless and it might not give you notifications when videos go live. Alternatively, there is a Facebook and there is a Twitter that you can follow. And you know what? I'll catch you next time.